Hey everybody, welcome back to another Blind Tuesday. So hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. I will try to make this one quick. I make no promises in saying that though. I usually say that a lot and it doesn't happen, so we'll see what happens. I have hopes that this will be a bite-size review, but I make no promises in saying that. We're here for another Blind Tuesdays. Last week we spun the wheel once again, and we landed on 2000s. Um, and initially we were going to do something that I haven't seen, but I just didn't have the time to watch it. Um, so we're going to something that I have already seen, which fits with for the category for this week, 2000s. Um, uh, the key difference with it, because it's when I say that name, you're automatically going to think of one film, but it's not. So we're going to talk about Crash today. Paul Haggis' Crash from 2004, not Cronenberg's Crash from 1996, uh, which is different a different narrative. Just reading the description here, and it's Cronenberg, so there's going to be something different there, aesthetically and visually. So, um, stars Sandra Bullock, Don Cheadle, Matt Dillon, Brendan Fraser, Terrence Howard, Ludacris. Okay, Thadi Newton, Michael Pena. So an all-star cast. Um, and it's set after the events of 9/11 and set in Los Angeles. And uh, it tells basically a bunch of stories, individual stories. Ones with Matt Dillon and Thadi Newton. Ones with Michael Pena and his family. With Sandra Bullock and Don Cheadle. Um, and what's basically uh, detailed within this is about racial tensions and social tensions amidst the backdrop of such a tragedy that was 9/11. Um, Now I haven't seen the film. Just to preface, I haven't seen the film in like 5 or 6 years, so my description of the film might be a little choppy. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what my memory of the film is. Primarily was a film about racial tensions, and 9/11 was kind of like something of a background element, not necessarily the dominance of the film. Um, and what I also remember from the film was a um, very, very simplistic representation of ideas, very thin representation of ideas, a collection of tropes, really, because what you get from this is a melodrama. And for me, melodramas are extremely, like, just on the nose, and I just don't care. And I just find myself just, like, it feels like at least by how melodramas are, like, kind of utilized, um, it sometimes can be warranted. It could sometimes hit the heart, but then a lot of times it feels like it's parroting. It's almost like mocking its drama in a way. Um, and that's kind of how I felt like with Crash, where everything just didn't really feel. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it just didn't mesh well together. It just felt like like there was an idea there, but I just didn't really find myself caring at all. And performance wise, also, I would say it's pretty apparent. It just everybody just seems kind of either like over the top or just without much to chew on. Matt Dillon's, from my memory, was like the only real appealing asset. But I mean, Matt Dillon is usually pretty solid in what he does. But that everybody else just seems like, but specifically Michael Pena, I just like, I wasn't. I didn't find myself all that interested. Um, and I say that I'm bringing this film up because I was surprised by the reaction of the film, because this went on to get recognized at the Oscars and stuff like that. Which, the Oscars is just whatever to me. I don't care for awards and stuff like that. But for a film like this, which is so just bare bones and just has very little to say about racial tensions and stuff like that, and the whole 9/11 background, I don't understand why that's there. Um, like, at least again, I'm going off of like a very uh, I'm going off of memory of like 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, generally speaking, this is my feelings of the movie are still intact, but the whole 9/11 thing, it's like, why is it there? You know, like, I don't recall it being such a big point of the movie, as much as was the discussions about racial tensions and uh, uh, social clashing, harassment. Specifically with Lottie Newton's character, um, which I would say is probably the one moment in the film which felt pretty sincere. It was actually fairly disturbing of a sequence. But it also represents another trope of like cops being like all dirty and this and that. It's like, it's a very tropey melodrama, and that description alone just kind of tells you a lot about said quality of film, which is to say, it's mostly mediocre than what I think people give it credit for. Um, Paul Haggis was also interesting because I didn't know anything about him. I went to check his. I for some reason thought he did like comedies, but apparently he did. He wrote Million Dollar Baby, as well as some of the recent James Bond films, specifically Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Right? Yes. So mostly known for as a screenwriter, um, and Paul. This is like, I think, his second outing as a director or something like that. So, um, I don't know. I thought for some reason he did comedies, but anyways, um, it might have been just a film that people. The film also came out on September 10th, the day before 9/11. So, like, a day before, just the when the event took place. Um, like, it's just so exaggerative, but also just so without any real meat. Like, the ending is laughable. Like, just the over the top, like, especially on Michael Pena's side, when the camera like zooms in on his face and he's doing like grabbing the child and he's just like, no, that whole thing. Like, it's laughable. It's not something that translates as like, oh wow, this is really, like, this is a heavy moment. It's more like, it again plays to how I feel, where it's like, is this a parody? Like, are they mocking their own drama? Like, you know, um, like, it just feels cheap. I guess that's the word for it. It just feels cheap. And I cannot understand the appeal for it. Um, and I can't understand just the packaging of certain materials. Like I said, to bring up 9/11 again, it's like, I just don't understand why that's there. Um, and predominantly what the movie's about, about racial tensions and how we treat one another and such, um, like, I, it's just so thin. It's like, it's running stuff that we already know about. It's not hitting on anything particularly new. There's no real cleverness. There's no real depth to it. It's just extremely hollow to me. And the only reason I bring up talking about it is just because I never have understood the appeal. Like, people will talk about it to some measure, Like, I've seen some people discuss it as like a great piece of, like, social commentary, and very riveting and powerful. And I just never understood that, like, that interpretation. I only see a very straight faced, melodramatic, fairly exaggerative, at times laughable piece of just straight mediocrity. Like, I don't understand it. So, um, decent performances here and there. Matt Dillon being the standout for me. Maybe Don Cheadle was fine. I think Dottie Newton was good in that, particularly in that one scene. Um, like I mean, that's kind of it. That's really what's driving it, I guess. But everything else, it's pretty bare bones and pretty just, like, stale. Like, I've used this, like, a statement before with another film. It's like, if you like the taste of a cracker, I guess you might find, like, if you find crackers to be very tasteful, then I get why Crash might be very appealing to you. I just see crackers, like, when I bite a cracker, it's just one flavor to me, you know, because that's really what I think it is. It's just stale. It's just thin, simplistic, and that's all it is. It's just whatever. It's the word. It's just like, all right, whatever, Not a film that really dawns on you. It's just like, whatever. So yeah, never got the appeal for it. I still don't even, like, I've seen some clips here and there uh, ever since then, but still I arrive to the same feeling that I got 4 or 5 years ago when I saw it. It's just like, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. So those are my thoughts on Crash. I think it's just super mediocre, and I've never understood the appeal that's surrounding it. Um, and awards wise, I mean, I don't give a fuck about that shit. But it's like, really, like, for this, I mean, um, I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. So yeah. So, and once again, my feelings stem from 4 or 5 years ago. So maybe if I refresh myself before doing this review, maybe I might find something different. Um, but as far as my memory goes, even talking about it now, I'm like starting to remember things about it. It just, I remember more about Ludacris now. That just popped in my head. I remember more about Ludacris now, and what I'm remembering just confirms more of my feelings of the movie. So I remember Ludacris being really fucking annoying. That's what I'm remembering right now. But yeah, never understood it, and clearly, uh, won't understand it. So, but uh, but yeah. So let's go to the wheel now. This being Blind Tuesdays, and let's see what's in store for next week. So here we go. And next week for Blind Tuesdays, it is going to be a... Oh, shit. Okay. So it's going to be a martial arts film. All right. We got really close to the looks bad category. That would have been fun. Okay, so martial arts. So there's a couple choices there. Some obvious choices. Maybe we'll go with obvious. Who knows? But you guys let me know your thoughts on Crash if you guys have seen it. Did you guys agree or do you guys disagree? Do you just I don't like someone explain it to me, like, just on their from their point of view, like, why is it amazing? Because I never have understood the appeal. Um, but uh, but I just just my opinion. But you guys know your opinions in the comment section below and your recommendations for a martial arts film. Not Year Pacific, just any martial arts movie will do. Uh, I've already seen Enter the Dragon though, so I know that's like kind of a big one. So sorry, I've already seen that. I actually also reviewed it on this channel. Um, I mean, you can also recommend movies, martial arts films that I perhaps have seen. If you like recommend one and I've already seen it, but I've not reviewed it on this channel, we can we can do that. Um, but just leave your recommendations in the comment section below and your thoughts on Crash as well. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the new lighting setup and everything. I was doing the blue setting today, so let me know your thoughts on the lighting as well. And that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.